YouTube is being fucking weird. I'll just put that out there. They're getting rid of dislikes. Why? Oh, I couldn't possibly think of any reason why. Not a single example to be found. I wonder who they're running cover for. Nothing. Ah, man. Maybe, as far as I can tell, UK creators, perhaps, because we got the Guardian, the Telegraph, the Independent. Yeah, I don't. Other than that, I don't see any kind of theme running through any of this. Anyways, YouTube is experimenting with hiding dislikes to protect creators' well-beings. Listen, sometimes I post some spicy content that gets more than the whatever. I think there's like 2 dedicated people that whenever I post a Trump video, they just like to come in and hit the dislike button. I don't really care because you're clicking on the fucking video and I'm getting a view off of it. So, haha, joke's on you, I suppose. But dislikes are very important. If a video is shit, if an opinion is shit, you should have the opportunity to have that presented to you, okay? If you're not appealing to your audience, they should have the opportunity to voice that to you. Sometimes you can't quite articulate what your problem with somebody is, but you know that the video that you're watching is hot garbage. I personally can't think of a video ever since I began watching YouTube that I've ever downvoted, but I still think that that option should be there. If you are a person who is getting so heated at a video that you just feel the need to express your negative emotion on it, by all means, hit that dislike button. You can drop a comment with a bunch of non sequitur insults in it. By all means, that is your free speech. That is your right to do it. I wouldn't want that restricted from anybody. Now, if you're going to be a total clown, are you going to get removed? Perhaps. Will I be doing that removal? Absolutely not. That is YouTube being especially weird, right? And this one, yeah, we all know why this is happening. I showed you proof on that one anyways. But here's the Verge's spin on it, right? YouTube has announced it's experimenting with hiding dislikes to discourage dislike mobs. I don't know when that doesn't happen. Only when a bad take is proffered or content is out there that is just really horrendous. Can't think of 3 readily available examples of that. But anyways, the experiment is a different implementation than the solution the company has previously discussed, but it is similar to other attempts platforms like Instagram have taken to nip targeted attacks in the bud. No, then that just results in a wave of comments with copy-pasted negative responses. Like, what's the difference, right? Anyways, in the current setup, stats for both likes and dislikes are viewable in the creator's individual YouTube studio page. Yes, this one right here, down below my face, you can see it. I'm pretty sure unless something has happened between this morning and right now, it's still going to be there. Now, it's in beta phase right now. It's going to be on specific channels or on specific types of videos. We don't know what it's going to be right now because YouTube is purposefully obscure and obtuse with their implementation of their different policies. You guys know my ongoing struggles with YouTube. I was hit, right now I have 2 have been successfully appealed, but 4 strikes in the past month or so. We started off the month with, I'm pretty sure I was suspended for the beginning of the month. All 4 of them were bogus. 2 of them, thankfully, were overturned. But 1 is a warning that will never be lifted. And whenever YouTube decides that they're just going to go ahead and drop the hammer, I'm going to get suspended after the end of May. It's for 2 weeks. And if I'm a good boy between now and the end of May, the 1 strike will be removed. And then whenever YouTube decides that they're going to change their terms, I could just get kicked off for a week. Now, have I violated any of the supposed rules that they put into place? I vehemently dispute that fact. If you think medical misinformation is me telling you that Bill Gates wants the developed world to switch over to bug burgers, you might think Bill Gates is an asshole, but me just reporting on the articles that are out there on every fucking major news source, hey, I don't think that that's medical misinformation, but that's what YouTube thinks. Or what got me my first strike was the Attorney General of Texas charging a woman who was the subject of a Project Veritas video with charges. She was collecting ballots for a House member for the 2020 election, and she was doing some improper actions. Ken Paxton seen the evidence, collected more evidence, charged her. That resulted in my first strike. All of those videos, both of those videos that have been struck, as well as the other 2 that were overturned, they're still up on Rumble. They're still fully monetized. I don't get it. But YouTube is purposefully cloudy with their definitions. They don't ever want to give conservatives a chance. Okay, I'll just drop pretense. They are going after one side. The new changes. I haven't been hit with any strikes from anything else, like excessive gore, nudity, saying gamer words. Like, I don't know what their other policies to take down stuff is. It's just all of the new stuff. 2020 election commentary where I've lost track of how many old videos between November 4th and January 6th that have been taken down. Somewhere between 10 and 20. Anything after that you could have been hit with a strike for, which I have been, but they're still up. Except for the Ken Paxton one. It's over on Rumble though. And then also my warning for medical misinformation, something to do with my COVID. I've made how many COVID videos? A few dozen at this point, but they never tell you. They never tell you what you get struck for. Like, what did you say in this video that was objectionable and against their content guidelines? They don't tell you. You just get hit with some vague description. Oh, this is spam or misleading practices. What? Oh, but it could be in context of our new policies involving the 2020 election. Okay, can you tell me what I said in my 20-minute long video? Can you tell me why in an hour-long video I may or may not have said something objectionable, but then within a minute or two of me appealing the decision that you made, you can tell me that you went back and you viewed my entire video and you can affirm that you made the correct decision? Retarded. Does that happen to other channels? I would assume so, if they're talking about similar things that I have. Most of the conservative voices that I follow, and I enjoy their content, they've been hit with something recently. And now YouTube has focused directly on the loudest voice. Somebody who I subscribe to, somebody who I watch, and I think that they do a very good job reporting facts. Steven Crowder, not necessarily the funniest guy. His type of comedy is not my cup of tea. I like things that bite a little bit harder, that aren't consistently repetitive. But hey, maybe for laughs, I'm not his target audience. I think his sidekick, who he poached from the funniest man who's ever been in front of a microphone, is much more hilarious, but he is being caged by Crowder and his production team. But that's neither here nor there. If he wanted to take the money and run, that's totally up to him. But what's going on from YouTube, locking him out of his account, obviously he's got a 1-week strike. It's the exact same pattern which happened to me. Okay? His warning was from medical misinformation from his 1-year anniversary stream, cataloging different facts with evidence that came straight from the CDC or from the WHO, the YouTube reliable sources out there for this type of information. He got that video, that entire stream, that whatever hour and a half long stream, something was said in there that YouTube found not to their liking, taking down the entire stream. And then today, or earlier today, or earlier last night, whatever happened, the first strike was levied against him for violating the 2020 election policy. What could he have been hit for? Well, it describes it in this article here. From the Daily Wire, Steven Crowder's YouTube account locked and demonetized. His main one, and his bits, his old Crowder Bits channel. That's the little clip show, the little edited clips of the entire live stream in a more digestible fashion. It's just about at 1 million subscribers, and it might be over that because that's where he's going to be streaming for the rest of the week. But regardless of that, and he's also hinting at action. We've got something for them. Well, I hope so, because he is over 5 million subscribers. His streams consistently get mid-level 5-digit viewers. He's going after Facebook. He's going after Twitter, to the best of my knowledge, and this could lead to him going after YouTube and Google as well, which would be great because this shit is happening to smaller creators everywhere. They don't have voices. They don't have anybody else they can reach out to. We just want clarification, okay? If I fuck up somewhere along the line, just tell me what I fucked up on, okay? I can dispute it. That would be great, but if I don't know what I'm disputing, I can't properly appeal it, okay? Like if I compare the 1960 election to the 2020 election, and I focus pretty much exclusively over the course of an hour on the 1960 election, how am I supposed to know that violated the 2020 policy? I don't know. I don't know. Just want clarification. So YouTube has demonetized and locked conservative commentator Steven Crowder's account for allegedly violating the platform's community guidelines. It's obviously the first strike in the video that he put out today. He said that he's going to be out there through Monday, so clearly it's the first strike. YouTube blocked Crowder from uploading new content on his channel for 1 week and pulled one of his videos that the platform said violated its rules against spreading misinformation about the 2020 election. YouTube also booted Crowder from his YouTube Partner Program, which allows creators to run ads on videos and turn a profit indefinitely. Now, he was originally kicked off of the Partner Program because of making fun of a writer for Vox, the wildly progressive outlet, which doesn't really do good journalism, but hey, he referred to him as a derogatory term for homosexuals, something which used to be in Carlos Maza, the guy who got made fun of. He used to be in his bio for Twitter along with his pronouns, but all of a sudden that's a no-go zone when somebody's making fun of him for writing an atrocious article, leading to a bunch of advertisers getting contacted by leftist busybodies and took their money away from the entire platform, dropping ad revenue for everyone just because some little spurg may or may not have got the feelings hurt temporarily. And then, of course, a year later, or 18 months later, he got remonetized, and now that looks like it's been taken off the table once again. In order to monetize on YouTube, channels must comply with the YouTube Partner Program policies, which include our community guidelines. Could you define those? Because nobody really knows what they are. Google AdSense program policies and advertiser-friendly guidelines. Why don't you fuck off? The platform told the Daily Wire in a statement, and don't worry, the Daily Wire would never get demonetized because Ben Shapiro is such a total simp for big corporations. Channels that repeatedly violate our policies are suspended from the partner program. In addition, we removed a video from Steven Crowder's channel for violating our presidential election integrity policy and applied a strike, meaning uploads are suspended for 1 week. Why would they be telling the Daily Wire this stuff? Shouldn't that be confidential and kept between the two parties involved and not a third party? Interesting. Crowder first announced YouTube's action against him Mondays. Oh, on an Instagram post on Monday. I seen it because I'm a Mug Club subscriber. Because, hey, he did great work during and after the election. I figured, hey, support the people who do good work. Support the people who actually like your message, even though he's not funny and even though he has an ego the size of the state of Texas. So it doesn't say this in this absolutely worthless Daily Wire article, but I didn't expect them to say anything controversial anyways. But I'll explain it to you. The reason why he got the strike on his channel last night, I suppose it would have been, is because he had interns and people who work for him go down to Nevada, cross-check with the voter rolls, find those addresses, and videotape and photograph where people allegedly lived that voted in Nevada. I will leave that up to your interpretation, whether or not there are actual buildings there or places of residences for people. The reason why he would have been posting that is because maybe some facilities felt that they need not apply. But yeah, this has been happening to smaller channels for a very long time. And it needed somebody who has over 5 million subscribers to have it happen to them. They picked on the biggest dog on this side of the aisle, and he's not afraid to fight back. He has a very good lawyer on retainer, somebody who has been very successful against Facebook in the past. Currently is pursuing another lawsuit against Facebook, potentially Twitter, like I said as well, and hey, maybe even Google and YouTube themselves. That would be great because I would just like clarification. A lot of people would just like clarification because the deck is considerably stacked against us, and as many alternatives that are out there, they've continued to get taken down over and over again. And at the same time, the alternative video hosting sites aren't nearly as big as the one that is here. And if there were just rules that people could play by, and if they were enforced fairly, it would be a much more sustainable, it would be a much more livable situation. But until things get cleaned up, who knows? Because one side is welcomed and welcomed back with open arms, and the other side, who is trying to report, trying to tell the truth, trying to do a little investigative journalism instead of just buying the company line, they get punished. So yeah, I'll get off my soapbox because we got an interesting breaking-ish story to hit number 3. And it involves another conservative. I know, wild, right? It's amazing what happens. mainstream media will just come up with any old fucking accusation to take somebody off of their pedestal if they speak up a little too loud. So thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.